All right, let's talk about the book of Judges then, all right? And we were talking last time about Gideon fighting Midian, and Gideon defeating the Midianites with the sword of the Lord, and Gideon throwing down their Molotov cocktail lamps and catching things on fire and blowing the trumpets and winning the victory against the Midianites. Then what happened after Gideon's big victory is that Gideon has a son, and the son's name is Abimelech. Now that name is really important. Abimelech, his name means Avimelech. And have I got his name here? Yeah. His name here is Abimelech. Abimelech. Abba means what in Hebrew kinds of things? Abba, father. So Avi means my father. Melech means king. Melech means king. My father is king. Who is his father? His father was Gideon. Was his father king? No, he wasn't. Are there any kings in Israel in the time of Judges? No. So is this name really kind of an interesting name, kind of clashing with the book? My father is king, but he wasn't king, but his name is Abimelech nevertheless. Now what happens is Abimelech takes over. He's kind of like the older brother, and what he does to all his other siblings is he kills them all off. And there's 30, 40, 50 of them. There's a ton of them. He kills off his brothers and brothers. And what happens is Jotham, one of the youngest guys, gets away. And Jotham then goes up on a hillside, and he's going to tell a fable to his brother. And this is basically in chapter 9 of the book of Judges. And he's going to tell this fable. I'll just narrate and give a kind of a summary, crass summary of the parable. But he goes up and he tells the story. He says, hey, the trees of the forest went out to make themselves a king. By the way, what is a fable? Are there fables in the Bible? Are there fables in the Bible? What's a fable? Usually a fable is like an animal talking or a tree talking. Well, here, the trees of the forest go out to anoint themselves a king. And so they go to the olive tree and they say to the olive tree, would you be our king? You give us olive oil and all these wonderful things that we eat, olives and things that we put on pizza, and we just love to have an olive tree for our king. And the olive tree says, I can't be your king. If I be your king, there's no olives and things. You guys are this no good. So they go to the vine and they say to the vine, hey, vine, you be our king, man. You can party all the time now. The vine is our king, wine for everybody. And the vine says, I can't be your king because if I be your king, I can't produce the grapes to grow and make everybody, the heart of man, happy. So finally, they go to the bramble bush. Now the bramble bush, you guys ever been in Texas? A bramble bush is a bush that there's no leaves on. All it is thorns and thistles. And it slices your legs up when you try to walk through them. They're usually about this high. They're low bushes and stuff like that, really thorny, almost no leaves on them. They're just these thorns and thistles. And so what happens is they come to the thorn bush and they said, thorn bush, would you be our king? And the thorn bush says, I will be your king. Come hide in my shadow. Now, why is that so ironic? Because the thorn bush doesn't have a shadow. The thorn bush is good for what? It's good for nothing. And yet it claims it's going to be the king. What is Jotham trying to say about Abimelech through this story? Is Abimelech the least likely to be the king? And yet he's pretending like he's the big king, but he's the least likely. The olive tree is gone, the vine is gone, and here's this bramble bush now this thorn bush trying to become king. And so this is a fable. This is a fable that Jotham tells. It's a fable that's recorded in the Bible. So if you want to get people mad, you say, well, there are fables in the Bible and things, and people get all bent out of shape because a lot of people think the Bible is a fable and stuff rather than history. But there are fables in the Bible, and this one told by Jotham about the trees making this king is a fable. By the way, is it a sarcastic fable meant to put down his older brother? And so that's what this fable is there. The thorn bush on ruling, power's ability. I think we've said this before. There's money, sex, and power. Did we talk about this last time? And power is the one that gets Abimelech, okay? And he kills his own brothers. He kills his own brothers so that he can have power and be the next ruler and things. And oftentimes you see that kind of thing. So sad story. This is the end of Gideon. Do you see how Gideon was really a good person? But you see after Gideon leaves, his sons, they go into this warfare in their family and just destroys his family. So Gideon's clan goes down. Now, the first kingship attempt, Abimelech, and so some people associate this with the first kingship attempt, a failed attempt at kingship here in the book of Judges. In the book of Judges, there is what? There is no king in Israel, and everyone does that which is right in their own eyes, right? And so Abimelech here is the first attempt at that kind of petty kingship kind of possibly thing going on in the book of Judges. A failed attempt, however.